Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Highest Recruit. My name is Jesse Victoria. This is Coach Andrew Parker, the Hall of Fame of Iowa State, and he is the number 46 pick in the 1979 NBA draft. But we have a special guest tonight with us. We have Coach Malik Evans, a Willow Ridge legend. He played at Vanderbilt, and he played a numerous team overseas. Coach, how you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. Happy to be here.
That blessing. How about you, Coach Parker?
I'm the same way. I feel real good and blessed to be here. Thank you.
Truly blessed. Coach Evan, talk to me about your life. Because, on the first episode, we talked about our background. For a lot of you people watching, is Coach Evans. He's our Team Imperial senior team, our NBA team. And very good coach, people. A lot of knowledge. Like I said, he played on numerous teams overseas, which we were just talking about it before the podcast. There's a lot of players from the NBA, played in the NBA, is going overseas. I've never seen the overseas, competition as high as it is now. I also know they're paying pretty good money out there.
Right.
The game is really turning global.
Yeah, right now it's a global game. You got African academies. You got academies out in China. So you're getting all kind of players from all sides and of the world and of the globe playing. Puts a lot of pressure on us,
yes,
to make sure that we're doing the right things to prepare our players here in America. Because right now it isn't so much about the competition of someone maybe in California or New York anymore. It's about that person maybe in Australia coming up or in Serbia that's coming up. So it's totally different than what it was about 30 years ago.
No, we are seeing especially in the Olympics, we are seeing the competition worldwide is getting much better. There's teams competing, giving USA, France did pretty good. They're giving them a run for their money. France did pretty good. It is a global sport right now. It's probably the most popular sport, as you see in the NFL. They're trying to play in other countries, trying to make it as global as basketball, but basketball is light years ahead,
Right.
But it also helps us and a lot of kids in college right now that's probably not as talented to play, in the NBA. They still get the opportunity to play the sport that they love overseas. Gives them more opportunities. It helps out. It helps out. What you think, Coach Park? What you think about that? You traveled to China and play in China, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. Ever since back in 1988, when we struggled in the Olympic sport, that's when we brought our first dream team in 92. And then we went from there to the professional athlete over here to equal out what's happening overseas. A little bit on Coach Evans, Malik Evans, who played at Willow Ridge, one of the top players in the state of Texas. When he came out, he attended Vanderbilt University, played 10 years of pro basketball in Europe. A terrific player. I was very fortunate to coach him. We just ran one play: get a ball to Malik and get out the way.
No, Malik, that's true. That's true. He's a Willow Ridge legend.
Yeah.
We was talking about him. We was talking the other day at one of the games we went at the team. He would say he would go to the Fundy court, and he said, you know what? I remember you said, I think you went to Atlanta one of the summers or just to visit your mom.
Well, my mother lived in Atlanta during my days in high school. So when I would have my time with her, I would go to Atlanta, usually by Grant Park, and play. So I got at least 2 upbringings, one from Houston and Fundy, and then from Atlanta. But majority, I have to say, born and bred is Houston, Most City. Growing up in the competitions we had on the courts and in the gyms, as far as the way our coaches pushed us to iron sharpen iron to get better.
No, definitely. So, Coach Evans, talk to me about your high school career here.
Well, I went to Willow Ridge. At the time, it was a football powerhouse, and
Before it expanded to different schools, right? Or that
was before. At the time, it was one of the premier schools in the suburbs of Houston, and we was out in Fort Bend County. And we used to have a rhetoric: if you started on varsity in football, you usually got a scholarship. When I went there, the basketball had some good talent, but I don't think it was on the level that we would have wanted to be. But then we got Coach Gary Nichols as our coach in, I think, 88, 89. And we went through a couple rough patches for him to implement his style of play. But then 1991, we was number 1 in state. We went 36-2. And then the next 2 years, we were ranked in state, had all state performers. And then the 4th year in 94, we ended up winning state with Ansu Cisse. And then about 6 years later, my hall boy ended up winning state. He gave more Daniel Ewing and going on to play at Duke, and both of them going on to play in the NBA. So we always say that Fort Bend County is definitely a county of hoop.
I would say your team paid the way. Yes, it was mainly football, but you always had these teams that open it up, and then the younger kids, a ball boy go win the state.
Now one thing is he had his 2 brothers ahead of him, Lorenzo Ewing, Michael Ewing, that kind of pushed him. So he saw the example of what it should be. His brother was leading scorer with me on the team in 1991. He ended up playing at HBU, averaged about 24 points there. So he saw it, and I think he listened to his dad probably a little bit more and had a little bit more grit of being the youngest, having to play against the oldest, and then ended up working out for him. Played at Duke, and then got drafted in the NBA by the Clippers, and right now he's a scout of the Lakers. Man, it's all right. It's just a beautiful thing for him. Great career.
Like we said, Texas, we're not originally from Texas, but Texas is a powerhouse for athletes, not just football, basketball, everything. Yeah. Coach.
Mm-hmm.
So Malik played for you back in the days. Tell me a little bit about Malik.
And one great thing that we that's why we're doing this terrific podcast with you, Jerry. Jerry.
Not you. Please don't say that.
What's been a definitely Jesse Victoria is that the biggest part, and again, we always talk about the biggest game of them all, the game of life, is the academic side. The academic side with Malik being going to a prestigious university like Vanderbilt. He went there, played 4 years. He played in the Southeast Conference, which had 14 teams the last tournament that made the tournament. Yeah. So that was a record. That's phenomenal. That along with the academic side. Now, everybody for Imperial basketball, it's not required, but everybody like Malik, Coach Victoria, all have their college degree, but it's not required. But it's a great example to set your kid when they play for us, because to get a college education, it takes discipline. It takes reading, writing, comprehend, and that's what we want to show in this program.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
No, and you're right about that. Because as we all know, it's the most important to us is the lab.
Yeah.
Right. And if you have in the lab, what is the lab again?
Life after basketball.
And if you have a degree, like we said before, basketball ain't forever. So it's so important to you to take advantage of your college career, not just playing basketball. You get that degree, because I tell you from experience, working without a degree, then getting a degree, and work is a big difference. So it's really, really important.
Huge.
And it really sets an example for your kids. Kids look up to you. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Now, another thing is, like with the grades, I always say this: take your exams as far as the SAT, the ACT, take them early. Take them as a sophomore or junior. They take the best scores of all your exams that you take. But if you wait to the last minute, it doesn't work out. You cut off about half of the schools that's looking at you. I repeat, you cut off about half of the schools that's looking at you. If you have all your stuff in order, someone like Vanderbilt or Rice or Virginia or Michigan can recruit you. But if you don't have your grades in order, you only can go to a certain amount of schools. So always understand that the education is important while you're going to high school and getting the right grades, so you have the right GPA and you have the test scores to get in any school you want to.
You listen to these guys who played basketball at the highest level. They know, they have the knowledge. It's real, real important. It's real, real important, because they just don't look at your skills. I know a lot of players that had the skills. They didn't have the grades. And they're quick to ask, okay, he looks good, what his grades are. They quick to look at your transcripts. So you really want to, you really want to stand out. You're standing out by doing great at both. And it just sets you up for life. It just sets you up for life. We got, like I said, we got 2 college legends right here for us.
Right.
Coach, I want you to tell me, when Malik played for you in Team Imperial, how was he as a player?
As a player, without a doubt, we used to play against the Houston Rockets. We used to play at Houston Baptist University, and the pro coaches just come out. He was just outstanding. He was the best player on the floor. It was easy. I had the best team because of Malik Evans.
Man, that's a blessing. That's a blessing.
Hey, that's about 3 decades ago.
Man, well, no, I thought it was yesterday. Yeah,
that's how I feel. Coach got a real good memory.
Yeah.
Hey, main deal I remember from that is he let me compete. And I think he strived to make sure that everybody understood it's competition, competing. Just because he swore, you can get right back at him. So he made me feel that we can go back and forth the whole game, and usually at the end of the game, we won. I think we lost in the finals,
right,
to Anthony Goldwire and Bo Outlaw.
Right.
It was a college summer league, and them boys is in the NBA. So we still kind of upset, and we want to protest.
I do.
So Coach Malik, Vanderbilt, leaving Houston.
Yes.
How was that change for you?
It was different. You got a lot of, first of all, it's colder up there. So that's one change. And then, Houston was a melting pot. So we had all races. When I went up to Vanderbilt, it's kind of either black, white. You had a few Asians in the school. We didn't have any Hispanics there. So it was a little bit different, a little shelter shock for me. But I love the competition. I love the university. I love the city. It was a great city. We was inside the city, kind of like how Rice is. And we had Tennessee State, the other TSU there, and Fish, so it had a good balance for me. And for me, it was nothing like playing in the SEC. Every road game was something else. Every court had a majestic, some feel about it, either from Kentucky to Arkansas, all the way even to Florida, and even at Vanderbilt. So I cherish those times. And I went back to Vanderbilt a couple of years ago, and it was great to bring my son to see where I played, and it's looking like they're on the right road right now.
Especially in football.
And last year, football doing their thing. So I think they putting their money in the athletics, whereas when I was there, it was more in the academics more. But they got a big endowment, the third in the SEC behind A&M and Texas, I think. So you spend the money, you should be able to compete, and that's what we're doing right now.
No, and as far as basketball, I'm really looking forward to this upcoming season because it's a lot of changes, a lot of names, a lot of money. I don't really see it as that much powerhouses. It's up in the air. It's the scouting, the transfer portal. Everything is up in the air right now, and there's people doing a true due diligence,
right?
On creating their own type of powerhouse team. Before we go on to your overseas, career, how was Coach Andrew as a coach?
He was passionate.
No, you don't know me.
I'm gonna say he was passionate.
Chicks in the mail.
Hey, for me, I would say he's a player's coach.
Yes.
Because he played, he understands what we're going through. Because he scored a lot of points, he didn't have a problem with someone scoring a lot of points. So he made us play extremely hard. And like I said, we always competed. If someone got us on one end, he'll make sure that we understood to get them right back. So we had that competitive thing going that
fired out of you, huh?
That fueled us. Well, I kind of always had it, but to me, a good match is a player and his coach.
Yeah.
And if they have a good rapport, usually the team end up doing well. So, like, I don't know if you noticed, Bill Russell, he had Red Auerbach. You know what I'm saying? Had Riley and Magic. He had Kareem. So I enjoy playing for him, and I try and reciprocate that so that the youth now get that same type of coaching and enthusiasm and passion that he gave me.
Well, what we try to do even today with Team Imperial, we try to keep the game simple. It's easy said than done, but we try to keep it simple. And then we try to bring out your strength in the game of basketball. And also we try to help you with your weakness. So that way, in actuality, we try to actually make that you just play the game. Now, one thing we try to is have a close relationship with the high school coaches. We try to keep everything in line. We try to find out everything about a player, A to Z, Z to A. So when we get them, we move quicker, faster, and better. So that's a good point. Yeah.
I'm glad he said that because it's so true. And what it helps is the respect we give the high school coaches, right? We give the distance, right? And that they're coaching them during the year, but that they got him and they got his attention.
Right.
And then when we have them, it's just all about us trying to get them to get better. And as a coach, and even him as a coach, we're going to see your weaknesses. Now, if you take offense and you have a problem with us calling that out, that's on you. Because we're really trying to make you understand that if you fix this one or two deficiency, you're probably a different player. You understand? So we're working with the coaches to make the player better. And then also when they are in school right now, it's all about them winning for that team.
Right.
Imperial going to be there and we're there for them as AAU. But during the school year, we really focus that they give it their all for that team and they get the accolades and the championships for playing and having full attention on the team.
And also on that, Coach Evans, is when you play for Team Imperial, one thing we try to implement, again, that word implement, is everybody get a chance to play at least 40 to 60% of the game. We don't want like a guy playing 90%, the other guy playing 10%. We want everybody to get out there and have quality minutes. And hopefully you'll be able to show their thing, you know?
Yeah. No, and that's true. And that's true. And as a Team Imperial, we try to create a rapport with the high school coaches. You know, we show up as a team during the regular season, during the high school regular season, and show support to our players.
Right.
We show support to the coaches. You know, we just there showing support, and the kids are seeing that. We went about a week ago. We went last weekend, not this weekend. Last weekend we went to a tournament in Boston. We had a few players there. We had a few coaches that we know that we're good friends with, and we was there. We was the powerhouse supporting our players, and that speaks a lot because, you know, as everybody know, you don't start to the beginning of the year, but we are there throughout their whole year. Just like we went to Lutheran South, you know, we have 3 players for Ray Frost, and you know, we have a couple tournaments coming up this year for high school that we will be supporting. A lot of tournaments, supporting our kids, because like I said, Team Imperial is a family, you know, and we're there to support.
And then another thing, we support you once you leave here too. So we're going to be going to a couple of our players that played for us this past summer up in Dallas, and then we got somebody in Louisiana and Mississippi.
Yeah.
And we talk to the coaches and we also talk to the players because it's a different challenge from being the man as a senior to starting all over as a freshman. But we're not just an AAU program for why you played for us. We're here from
before, during, and after.
Yes.
And one important thing, if you ever played a game and you never coached it, that's why it's very important to coach a game and then play it, or play the game, then coach it. Then you understand what a player is going through.
Yes.
Right.
So that helps us out a lot in what we do, especially as a staff.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. As Team Imperial, that's what we take pride in having coaches that play at all highest level.
Right.
They understand the players.
Each level.
Each level. And each level, you know. And you know, they understand, they can see what a player went through. And then they recall when they went through it. They recall when they went through that and how they get out of it. Because as we all know, basketball, you have the good and your bad. Sometimes you have your struggles. Sometimes your struggles last longer. And then, you know, these are not just coaches. These are not just father figures. They're psychologists too. You know, they know how to get you out that bubble that you're stuck in, you know, and it's very, very important. This is why Team Imperial is different, you know, because just like Coach Evans says, we're there even when we get you to college. Because like we always say, there's no other team putting people in college like Team Imperial, and it don't stop there. We're going to push you to be to the highest level, past that level, and we're going to support you all the way through.
all the way through. I agree. Yeah.
So Coach Evans
Mm-hmm.
for Vanderbilt.
Uh-huh.
What happened after Vanderbilt? Where you end up going? Tell me your career after Vanderbilt.
After Vanderbilt, I had a trial with the Rockets, but I had broke my foot my senior year. So after that, I went and then really just rest half the season to recuperate, so that I can have a full, what I call bone with no line fracture. And I had a screw put in my metatarsal. So that happened during my senior year when we played against Rice. And it's the weirdest thing because I broke my foot and my point guard, Howard Pryor, broke his leg. So we had two starters to break something in one game. And we were on the verge of being top 25, 7-1. And we had two top 25 wins. So we were really churning away. And then the injuries kind of sidelined us a little bit. But from there, I played USBL. USBL would be kind of like the G League for summer.
Right.
And and then I started my track overseas, went to Poland and went to Spain and just kept trying to be in shape and kept trying to fill my passport.
So Coach, are you an interpreter?
No, I'm not an interpreter. I learned a little Spanish in Spain.
Right. Okay. No,
How many citizenship you got?
Have you? Hey, look, you gotta marry somebody, or what do you gotta do to the government do to get you on the team? But nah, I didn't.
But you know, one thing about that injury on Coach Evans, if you know, any injury you have in any sport is crucial, especially if you hurt that foot, because you got all your weight is got to come down. You got to push, run, jump off of that. That is a very, very dangerous injury. You remember the great late Bill Walton? He just could not get his career right, and then Yao Ming had the same type of injury.
So Kevin McHale, I heard he had to play on it.
Right.
The majority of his it is a bad injury. And it's a normal basketball injury, right? Believe it. That's a normal, but yeah, it is a normal basketball injury.
And it's, you know, looking at the NBA league right now, you know, it's, you know, we know what injury I'm starting to see a lot, the Achilles. Yeah, you still seeing more and more. The other time shoot well. So a load with two of them go over our days. So they, you know, they need to be like Rasheed Waters, wear the high top Air Force. Hey, at least me. What about the Chuck Taylor? Oh.
Yeah, that's my day all the way out.
It's my day.
Yeah, but they ain't got no way.
Y'all got something against my day?
So that's why they wasn't so shifty.
Yeah, what you mean?
We got 3 eras of basketball, right? Yeah. We could talk about all we want. Coach Evans, Poland, that's a big difference, you know. But being from Houston, like you said, Houston is a big, diverse, you know, city, you know, where you have Hispanics, you have all races, you know. So I'm pretty sure in high school,
a little different. I give you that. You're a little different.
And I'm pretty sure, like in high school, you had Hispanics, you had, you know, like in Spain, you know, but Poland is a big difference. You know, is it good?
Majority, hey, I'm not gonna lie, majority of the countries over there in Europe, it's a big difference. In Spain, I would have scenarios where I would walk past somebody and they would stop and be like, I finally saw somebody of color. So it's not just Poland, it would be everywhere in Europe for that. Only thing you won't see that as much as if you're in the big cities like London, Berlin, Madrid. Paris got a lot of black folks. France has a lot of black folks, so they have a lot of African colonies that they used to deal with. So it's a little bit different, but you also have some racism. Italy, I know that I've heard of areas in Italy. You just have all kind of scenarios. You got to be unprepared. That's one thing about being overseas. You also got to understand the rules. You don't think that you're in America.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Not no more. Because I think that one guy in Indonesia,
yeah,
you know, we got to pray for him that he gets out of it. But it's a death penalty to have anything, marijuana-wise. And I think he has some guns.
Yeah. That's something you don't witness. Something you don't waste on anybody. Cause we all saw the Brittany Griner situation now.
Yeah.
How long he was stuck over there and
residue.
Yeah, so it's like Coach said, mentally strong. You have to be mentally strong just to move, which I think helped you out probably, you know, changing your scenario, you know, living in, you know, going to Vandy for 4 years. That somewhat opened up, you know.
Open it up. So I ain't gonna lie, going overseas is totally different though. If you somewhere and then they speaking a whole different language.
How you ordering food over there in Spain?
Spain, what they do is they usually give you a couple restaurants you can go to.
Right.
And then in Spain, you know, Spanish.
Yeah.
Nah, if you're in Korea somewhere else, yeah, different. But believe it or not, Americans probably the only ones that know one language. Most people know 2-3 languages. You know what I mean? So
And they have it from school early on. You know, I know when I went to Aruba, I think they teach them for early on. They know 4 or 5 languages. Food wise, what was the best food?
you gotta get used to that because they don't have a spice palette like we like. You know what I mean? But then if you go to Puerto Rico,
Yeah,
that food was nice. Venezuela, you know what I mean? Argentina was like,
Get somebody excited.
was a fogo de chao type scenario. I always got a story. The first 8-9 days in Argentina, all we ate was beef. And we talking about like big things of beef from the cow because they're known for cattle. And about the 8th day, I said, man, I gotta have chicken or fish. I'm not finna eat this or all of that. But, you know, that's little things, the culture-wise, you have to deal with. Right. Not in America where you would like to be.
yeah.
But if you open your eyes, you can grow and learn a lot from other people and the world, basically. The world really works.
Man.
It really works.
And that's how it is.
What you know, one thing, Coach Evans, ain't no place like America.
No.
Okay.
Hey, I would have it where guys on my team would try and talk bad about America in front of like the team. And a week, 2 weeks later, hey man, you got any hookups? America, so
Yeah.
you know, we the number 1 right now.
Yeah.
It's a fight, but one thing I gotta say overseas is you gotta be humble when you over there. Yeah, some guys that I've seen that was real cocky, got sent home. There are some guys that got cocky with the wrong folks sometimes. And not every country is on the up and up as far as their leaders. You probably have a cartel owner here or mafia boss here. So you really gotta watch how you roll. Always say try and be respectful and usually pretty good.
Okay. Well, I got a real good question for both of you guys. One of the hardest decisions in life, where you got to hang up the Chuck Taylors or you got to hang up the high tops or the mids. When the time to quit basketball, that decision, because that competitive never leave. I know Coach Parker, one of our recent AAU games, I felt like he wanted to go out there and still play. He still got the competitive fire in him.
Got that right.
And also you, Malik, too. You know, we spoke about it in that tournament last week, you know, how it's different. We told my son, you know, that fire starts as soon as we go up and warm, as soon as we pass that line and we start warming up, not during the game, not second half, you know, as soon as you play, it's war. For you, Coach Malik, that decision to retire from basketball, can you recall this that day or that scenario?
It was a scenario where I was married for about 3 years, I think at the time, 2 years, and my son was 1. And I missed his birthday and I missed him walking, and it kind of made me want to be around him more. And I wasn't going to the best countries for them to come stay with me. But I always said it's hard to say when you can. It's too late. I probably was around 34, and I look back, I probably could have played another 4 years the way I played. So, hey, I'm 52 now. They do have 40 and up leagues, 50 and up leagues. Shout out to New Faith Senior League. But you got cats still going at it every Sunday.
Coach Willow?
But nah,
I won't play.
nah, I'm good. You get Achilles scare. Yeah, it'll make you realize, okay, all right, I'm glad I'm good.
You did your time. Your 30 years playing the game.
Yeah, but hey, they got some guys.
Oh, you got some.
Shout out to Tracy. Shout out to
Right.
some other cats. They 57, 58. They're playing every Saturday. 90 minutes.
Yeah. And you know what they say? Those are people that, you know, unfortunately staying active like that. Usually the one that lives the longest.
You think?
Coach Parker.
So you know, the game is tough. Because if this is something you just don't play overnight. You've been playing all your life that you can remember. And to walk away from something that you truly like, love, is tough. It's very tough. But as you get older and you get this, you start seeing things. Because nothing like this lasts forever. The game of basketball ain't meant for the human body. It ain't meant to twist, jump, and turn because you go against a lot. You know what I mean, Coach Evans? So, guys, you start looking at people that do get injured and you start looking and say, hey, what I'm going to do if I get injured like that? What is my next step? What's my next stage? So you got to start planning while you plan for your retirement. So you want to look, again, the biggest game of, you got to start looking at the game of life. But as you said, there's no exercise like basketball. It's a mix of cardio, running and jumping. You can't get no better conditioning program. But I do know this, if you can play when you're 60, that means you couldn't play when you was 20. Because if you play when you was 20 to 30, you couldn't be able to play when you're 60. I don't think. So,
hey, I never thought of it that way, but yeah, you guys,
but
because you playing 6 days a week.
But this thing is hard on your body. And we sit around, we got, man, you got people with, we back when we wore different type of shoes. Now, so y'all got so much better shoes now, it ain't even funny. We wore Chuck Taylors. We were forced to have a Big 8 rule when I played that you had to have your ankles taped before practice and game. That was a rule. And that's all the support you had with a Chuck Taylor. These are,
blisters.
And you go from there. You know what I mean? It's shifty. So, yeah, man.
What, were you a shifty player?
Man, I was
The lefty?
I was so fast you couldn't see me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was slow. I don't know why I laughed. I was slow as you get.
Well, we had a pretty good week this week. We like we said last week, we went to we went to a tournament as the team, as coaches, as supporters.
Mm-hmm.
We also had a pretty good dinner with one of our sponsors, the Taylors.
Right.
I got to meet Brendan Taylor. He plays in Emerson College up in Boston area. Really good kid. Really good kid. We got a lot of stuff coming with him. As far as the podcast wise, really great family. Really, I'm
Great family. Miss
great.
Amanda Peaks Taylor and her husband BJ Taylor. Just terrific people. They were part of our sponsorship, and we can't wait to give them a great shout out for their program, their sponsorship.
Yeah, big time.
Big time.
Great family. I'm telling you, they truly a great family. It was a good first meeting. We're looking to have a lot more.
Right.
We're looking to support and help Brandon as much as we can. From our end at his college level. Really good family. Really good family.
And we gonna run, Coach Victoria. We gonna run that podcast from Emerson College, Boston, with his players, and you'll be able to see it live.
Wow.
It's gonna be a terrific.
Maybe that's just with some other schools this year.
Also, yes,
No, yeah, like we going up to Blinn College for a tournament in a few weeks.
We're another one of our sponsors will be
One of our sponsors will be there. We have a lot of things coming up.
And then we set up January 7th to go up to Waco to watch the Baylor Bears and the mighty Iowa State Cyclone, best school in America, the mighty Iowa State Cyclone. And then we going on February the 10th, we gonna see TCU Froghorns play the mighty
Dwayne
Broussard. We're going to see the mighty Iowa State Cyclones again, the best team in America. And then on the 11th of February, we're going to go see Cedar Valley College.
Yes.
With Coach Roy Gregory. And then we're going to check out the North Texas University, coached by Danielle Robinson. I get it right. I'm sorry, Coach Robinson. Get him.
So we going to the 3 Iowa State guys?
No, we're going to go to 2 of them. Well,
and we're going to try to make it also to a North Carolina State game.
Yeah, North Carolina State.
And in February.
Yeah, we'll wait, and we're hoping to hook up back in 1983 when they upset the mighty 5-pounder Jameson. Okay.
And we going to nightmares. Don't nobody got to tell me we living.
And we talked yesterday to the legend, the great Michael Yarn.
Yeah,
we gonna run it back. We're gonna take some of you guys back. Coach Victoria was just born in '88, so
yeah,
so he missed it.
Listen, I missed all that. Actually,
it had to be the biggest upset, probably Coach Evans. I was basketball. It was a big upset. After watching Louisville game, where there was a total of 22 dunks.
They were dunking it.
And they were dunking it. And I said, well, who they play next? I didn't even know. And the guy said they played North Carolina State. And Coach Vanderbilt said, we ain't going to shoot the ball to Tuesday. And the game was Monday.
Yeah,
boy, he fooled us.
That ball.
Huh?
He held that ball. It was only like 52, 51.
Yeah, but it was, U of H, University of Houston held the ball too.
Yeah, I know.
But that was you got to give him credit. He rolled the dice.
They did their thing.
He rolled the dice.
Upset of the century.
That was the upset. But we'll have a guest. We have North Carolina State head coach Will Wade, also along with the great Michael Young from University of Houston, where his jersey is retired.
Definitely. And we did like
Touchdown legend.
Legend. And like we said yesterday, we went, they played Dillard College yesterday. Coach Young had a pretty good little team, missing a few players, but the structure is pretty good.
Real good structure, and they played hard. One thing about this game, some people, a guy told me one time, he'll take a guy playing hard over talent.
Yeah.
If you understand, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for not playing hard. Talent, sometimes guys can get your butt beat.
Yeah, big time.
Big time. You know what I mean, Coach Evans?
Yes.
So we like that. We like to emphasize that because it carries you on through life. You play hard, you work hard, you live hard, you live good. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. And then like yesterday, what surprised me, I know as soon as we walk in, everybody know Coach Drew, Mr. McCoy, everybody know Coach Parker. I was surprised me. It's like we can't go nowhere. We were trying to leave. Somebody would stop them, but it was a blessing to have 4 players at that school of Houston Biblical.
Right.
Have a history with Team Imperial. It was one of the kids. What I was really surprised at to me was the best player on the court, Trayvon Martinez.
Yeah, Trayvon Martinez. Yeah.
Like what did your son say about coaching?
He was the most complete player he played. But the funny thing about that Coach Victoria, he only played like 3 to 4 minutes. I don't want to call it high school out for his high school, and down he had about at least 25 or 30 yesterday. And terrific kid. He's a postgraduate player.
Yes,
he's already got his degree. He's working on his master's. I can't tell you, Coach Evans, how good he looked and how well represented he was. His dad is a preacher and a great kid.
Really, really great kid. As soon as the game was over, he was real excited to see Coach Parker.
Right,
came over and give him a handshake, give him a hug, and it's just the support we give our players, and not just players, the coaches. We went there to support Coach Young. The first time I was able to meet the living legend in person, and just hearing him speak to my son, to Bryce Davis, one of our elite players in the program, give him the knowledge, being direct, asking them what's their strongest,
right.
What are they good? What shows out in them?
And what Coach Young did, Coach Victoria, he gave them an offer. Offer. Both of them, Jalen Victoria offered from Southeastern High School, and Bryce Davis from Ridge Point High School got an offer yesterday. Terrific offer. Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations, guys. It's a blessing. A lot of things coming this year. Like we said, Team Imperial put the kids in college. And that's our biggest success in life. And that's what we're looking for. Let's talk about the recent team, our NBA league team. We had a special kid. You played with his father overseas.
Yeah, Drenta Fila, he's out at Bossier. Go right now. He should be starting, I think, as a fresh late bloomer.
Yes.
Really pick up the ball probably the 9th, 10th grade year. Played at Houston Christian as a junior, but he didn't play a lot, probably averaged 3 points. But senior year, he finished with about 12 and 7.5. Really came in with the right attitude when he played with us and took our coaching, either if it was hard or not. And I think he averaged probably around 13 and 9 for us.
Close to double.
Yeah. And then he went and represented Kosovo in, I think, 19 U's.
Yeah.
And he averaged 13 and 10, was top 5 in that league.
He let the road right out.
And I really believe it was because of us And that was one of the reasons.
Yeah.
Because he was playing after he graduated. As a matter of fact, majority of our seniors that played after they graduated, they're in college now. Yeah, said a lot of them are starting.
And they're starting, we
freshmen. And I think a lot of it has to do with they kept that competitive edge throughout that summer.
Yeah. And then they got the wisdom from our coaches that played at all levels, especially in the level they're at now. Yeah. We had Matthew Lawrence in Cedar Valley starting. We have Diego Hernandez in Cedar Valley. We're not just saying
Sloan starting.
We're not just saying we in
Julian
Barkley's in college.
Solo.
We have Brady is in Minnesota.
Yeah, Brady. What's Brady left?
I can't recall.
Brady. Yeah,
but
Santa Fe High School.
Yeah, Santa Fe High School. But like I said, we're not just saying it to say we put kids in college. Kids are in college, and it's a blessing. We're not trying to show off. Because like I said, our biggest attribute is putting the kids in college, and that's what we do.
Another thing is, people don't want to say this, but it is who you know. Yeah, connections and your network means everything. Now I was fortunate to play for Coach Gary Nichols at Willow Ridge. I really believe I was being heavily recruited for some of the people he knew. And all he would say is, Malik, I told him I might have something down here to check it out. That means a lot when it's from somebody that you trust and respect. Yeah. That's what Coach Drew Parker has. When he talks, they will listen. So our biggest deal is getting you in school, getting you to be a better person, and getting you to be the best man you can be going forward.
Yes, sir.
So just always remember when you come here, it's a full-fledged service with us.
Full-fledged.
Yeah, we're not trying to use you just to win games.
And we
trying to help you.
And Coach, on that, we talked to Austin P coach, Corey Gibson, who called me at 2:30 every morning. I'm trying to get over that, but I'll be all right.
But keep calling him, Coach. Keep calling him. He's gonna call him. As long as he picked up, you keep calling.
And he talks to Coach Evans all the time, but I know he's interviewing him as he's talking to him. Because being, Austin P is located in Clarksville, Tennessee, 45 minutes from 45 minutes from Nashville, where Coach Evans played college ball. So he's got a lot of area about there, and that's huge when you're going to a D1 school in recruitment. And they're looking for people like a Coach Evans who's young, enthusiasm, who's into the game, who understands things. So you'll always be an interview. So that's a great point, Coach, about who you know, what you know.
Yes. There's a network, and Team Imperial has all the networks at all levels.
At all levels, even you, Coach Victoria.
I'm meeting a lot of people, so it's a blessing. And meeting fans and just it is a little politics. It is who you know, but it also is who you are, because you can meet all the people you want. But if you're a truly good person, if you ain't about the money, I threw that in there. We'll keep that scene. We're not about physically money, but you'll never call me money. You never call him money. We'll never have that nickname. If you're truly a good person, if you're truly honest with these coaches, if you show them your background, how you came up in life and your knowledge in basketball, the more trust these coaches, these managers, everybody have that trust in you, the better relationship you get, the better you can help out the people, playing for you or friends or coaching with you, and we want Coach Malik to coach at the next level. I want to say congratulations for a good season. I know you got a lot of
I agree too.
Yeah, you got these kids to play. I know we played a big team in
schedule.
What was that? Austin?
Which one?
Big team, that first team.
Oh, yes. Austin?
Yeah, but that was
one with having 3 guys.
Yeah.
But these guys played with their heart. That's it. That's what you want,
Yeah.
These guys, I see Coach Evans, getting the best out of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you want, and also speaking to them, like a father figure, like a brother, that's what you want, and that's what we get out the players.
Well, the main thing I want to say for kids, your effort means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You can see effort.
Right.
It jumps off the page.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Sprint the offense, sprint the defense, being talkative on defense, having your hands high, contesting every shot, coming to the pass, making the right passes, pump faking your pass to make the right pass. Those little things at a high level, you'd be surprised where they get you. If you up in here just trying to score 20, everybody will notice it. And they'll come off as selfish. Do plays that impact winning. Every coach wants that player. Because every coach will want to win. All right? So just remember that.
And Coach, you know, that hits me real hard and deep. Because I've always been known as a scorer. But me. And one thing about it, you know, over my 4 years in college ball, I lost more games than I won. And I would trade that out, and I really mean this, to average less points and to win more games. But I was put in a role what I had to do, but I sure appreciate a win any day over a 30-point game. Because this is a team sport.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Now, the beauty of it is, you didn't win at first, but you found out how to win. So at the end of your career, y'all will win it.
We're winning. Right.
I think that's the biggest thing. Every time I see these coaches come in the first year, sometimes they have a bad season. I think Coach Fritz at U of H with football had a subpar first year. This year, he kicked.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? That's because they keep doing what they're supposed to do day in, day out, as they call stacking days.
Right.
So in a year or 2 years, you can be a whole different program, a whole different person. So, hey, shout outs to you being a winner at the end of it.
Oh yeah, and it's not lies, people. You could look it up. You know, every time I meet a new person, they talk about Mr. Lefty. The way I just know there's one person you can be, but we will keep him out of it.
You don't do that.
You know which one I'm talking about. Then they'll invite him out to eat afterwards. But we'll keep that. We'll keep that name out of it. But you know, U of H Hall of Fame, U of H a legend. On the women's side?
On the women's side.
On the women's side. 3-pointers? Automatic?
Oh, no.
Automatic? We'll keep that one out.
You okay? We'll keep that one out.
We'll keep that one out. But yeah, you know, we're having fun. We're having fun with this podcast. You know, this is pretty cool. You know, I'm blessed to be here with these two great gentlemen, these two legends, these two people who elevated, you know, the team Imperial, the Houston basketball, the Fort Lauderdale basketball, Vanderbilt, the Iowa State, the Washington, and the Philly.
And the Philly.
And Philly. We got Philly.
Now, hey, you want to be chill with, you know, you play with everything?
Yeah, it was Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry.
Well, he went to my high school the 1 year, but we wanna, you know, I learned a lot from these two guys in a small time being with them, you know, and it's a pleasure to call these guys not just my brothers, not just my grandpa, not just my dad.
What's funny? Somebody laughing out there. Somebody ever glad them lights in my eye.
All jokes aside, we always say there's never gonna be a dull moment.
But you know, something that's very serious is Coach Evans was with me last year. It was him and I, and we had to get this program, and I was leaning on him hard for this. You know, I remember my college coach telling me the first one off a sinking ship are the rats.
Mm-hmm.
It took me 25 years to understand. I used to say, what that stupid man talking about? And then I saw the remake of Titanic, and I saw that ship sinking, and I saw the rats running off.
Mm.
And then I said, whoa. I stepped back, and then I watched the ship go down, and I watched these healthy men knocking these little kids over for those life reserve boats to get on. I said, whoa. And then they went and got the captain as the ship kept sinking. It's the captain, it's time to go. He said, I ain't going nowhere. He grabbed a bottle of bourbon and turned it up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the ship mail went to the bottom. But when that ship hit that bottom, you're going to look to your left and you're going to look to your right and see who they're with you. because they with you all the way. And Coach Evans was there. Now, Coach Victoria came to us and he picked this thing up. When you say Coach Evans, oh, he picked it up. And he did this. It was because of all what you see here. It's because of him. He don't want to give himself the credit. We may talk about Coach Evans, who's an incredible basketball player. We played at he played at Vanderbilt, I played at Iowa State. But without him, we don't have this. He's more important than anything here. So let's give him a big shout out, Coach Evans.
Appreciate it. But like I said, man,
yeah. Thank you so much, Coach Victoria.
Thank you guys. And we also want to, again, give a big shout out to Ms. Mona.
Oh, boy.
Thank you, Ms. Mona, for everything you did. So, thank you. You know, I'm also learning from photography.
Oh, I noticed that. I'm learning too. I'm learning to get out the way.
Yeah.
So I'm learning a lot from her. You know, like I always say, thank you for everything you do. We like to thank Coach Larry. We like to thank Coach Al. Yeah. We like to thank our sponsors, the Taylors. Yeah. You know, Blacks. Yeah. You know, Mr. Harry Black. We like to thank Al Torres. Yeah. We like the very big thank you to the big boss, Drew Parker Jr. and the clothing brand in the South.
Number one.
You definitely go check that out. The number one clothing brand in the South.
Answer my phone call.
Answer the phone call, Drew. But, you know, we want to thank everybody for watching. This is the Highest Recruit brought to you by Team Imperial. My name is Jesse Victoria. This is the living legend, Coach Andrew Parker. This is the living legend, Coach Malik Evans. And this is the High Recruit. Please like, subscribe, comment. You know, this is part 2. We have a lot of things coming.
Hit that subscribe button.
Hit that subscribe button. He's watching. We're watching.
We're watching.
Support, please. We got a lot of coaches coming. Interviews with coaches. Interview with people. Please watch. And guys, any closing remarks?
Yeah, yes, we do. The piggyback, we do have a great big show upon us. So stay with us and you'll see some great things. You'll learn a lot.
Definitely, Coach.
Hey, just keep growing with us and we grow together. Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah. And like we said before, we're going to get better little by little. You'll see this podcast grow and you guys are going to be part of the success. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said before, the Highest Recruit brought to you by Team Imperial. Hey, you see the hologram back there. We're going to have more things coming. Thank you guys and y'all have a very blessed day.
God bless.
God bless. Thank you, Rick.